Test, test, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3.
I I gave her a whole list of reasons why not. You can see she was going to forward it,
He did. I'll
Okay.
give him a copy.
but no. Yeah. Yes, Bob, it reflects on. Okay. Okay, it's now 6 o'clock. We're going to call the Board of Trustees regular meeting to order for Thursday, November 13th, 2025, 6 p.m. Next up is our invocation and pledge of allegiance. Please stand, and men, remove your hats. Our Father in heaven, we give you all praise and thanksgiving. We thank you for another beautiful day in Holiday Park. We come together today in the hope of the betterment of our park community. We ask for your blessings on all our residents and those visiting. We thank you for those present at our meeting and for all those who are streaming. We thank you for our trustees, our district manager, and all park staff, and ask you to bless them for the work that they do here in the park. We ask that the Holy Spirit guide our discussions and interactions this day as we all try to do what is best for all of our residents. We ask for your help and guidance so that all present are patient, understanding, and respectful to one another as we remember that we are a community of neighbors and friends. We thank you for bringing us back our friends who are away this summer and continue to pray for those who will be traveling back to us over these next weeks. We ask all this in the name of your beloved Son, Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, our next item is roll call.
Okay, Chairperson Sean Slattery.
Present.
First Vice Chair Bob Bachman.
Present.
Second Vice Chair Rick Haggard.
Present.
Treasurer Don Lemaster.
Present.
Secretary Deb Burns. Present. Assistant Secretary Jackie Mitchell.
Present.
Trustee Joni Anderson.
Present.
Trustee Tim Celo.
Present.
Trustee George Clinch.
Present.
District Manager Vicki Lawrence.
Present.
Sergeant at Arms Rick Weber.
Thank you, Deb. Next item is our approval of our previous meeting minutes. We have our minutes from our regular board meeting on October 9th. It's before the board here. Are there any, we need a motion, I guess, to accept these?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have support? Okay, although, do we have any discussion, any items to change? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye for the approval. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is our October 28th workshop minutes. We need a motion.
So moved.
We have a motion. We have support. Any changes? I have one change on these ones. Under item 6, the discussion for NB6 Board Resolution 2025-03. The second sentence should say, currently, every fine has to go through the fine committee. So that's one change. Anyone else have any changes for these minutes? Being none, if we can amend the motion with the change. You got that, Deb? All set? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, we're going to move on to our report from our district manager, Vicki.
Good evening, Holiday Park residents and trustees. I hope everyone is doing well this evening and enjoying this crisp, cool weather we are having. It's starting to feel a little bit like, I don't know, winter in Southwest Florida. As much winter as we're going to get, right? I also want to say thank you to all the veterans for their service to our great nation. I'd like to welcome all the new residents and thank you for choosing Holiday Park to be your new home. You will love it here. It was very nice to speak with and meet you all at the Welcome New Residents event held yesterday. I'm available to answer any questions. I also hope, is any new residents here tonight? So I hope you're here and and participate in some of the meetings. But I am available to answer any questions you may have or provide any information you need about Holiday Park. I also want to add that the Holiday Park election of trustees for seats 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are up for election on March the 10th of 2026. The deadline date is January the 2nd, by 5 p.m., January the 2nd, 2026. We do have the packets for the candidate packets in the office, so please come to the office and, and ask for me, and I'll make sure that you get the information that you need. We do have one seat that is undecided. Seat 5 is undecided. But of course, you are welcome to, to put your candidate packet in for any of these seats. And they are seats 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me or come into the office. All of this information is also on our website.
Thank you, Vicki. Next up, we have.
Can I give a couple more things?
yeah.
I'm sorry about that. He's like, we're ready to move on. Just want to give a couple of quick updates. I just want to let you know that the shuffleboard courts resurfacing is almost complete. They will be painting the lines, applying the wax, and completing the alleyways. And their final items to be completed is scheduled for Monday, November the 17th, 2025. And Cyber, our IT company, is scheduled to begin installing the security cameras in phase 1 and 2, and also the audio equipment at the phase 2 pool. This was, on our project, it started on our projects list, and then it moved into an operational budget that we voted on, that the trustees voted on. And a reminder that also on November the 5th, in response to the extreme drought conditions and threat of wildfires, the Northport Fire Rescue has enacted a citywide outdoor burn ban effective immediately. So that was on November the 5th. We have posted that throughout, Facebook and our website, and it's now on our digital sign. So just remember that it prohibits all bonfires, campfires, outdoor burning of yard debris, grills, gas and charcoal remain permitted. However, residents are urged to use extreme caution. Fire pits and cooking pits are not allowed under the current ban. So please check the Holiday Park or City of Northport website for updates. And I hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday.
Thank you, Vicki. Okay, we have our treasurer's report from Don.
Yes, good evening, everybody. This is a report for October 31st, 2025. Assessments received. We didn't receive any in October, but we're expecting to have new money in by the end of November when we start getting our new money in. In our pavilion fund, we have $107,335. In the trees for Tuscola, $604.09. October income, $19,917.84. October expenses, $179,141.22. Reasoning be, in October, we pay our yearly insurance on property, liability, and our truck insurance. That's once a year. That's $80-some thousand. Moving on, restricted reserves, $398,782. Project account, we still have $153,739, but all of that is spoken for as soon as they finish the jobs. Certificate of deposit, $371,298.88. Restricted interest, $22,564.25. In our operating account, $453,258.52. Our operating account as of the 11th had $408,009.51. And the project account still had $153,739. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. All right, next is our chairperson's report. The board welcomes all full-time residents, those residents returning from summer break, those visitors attending our meeting this evening, and also those who are streaming. Please keep all resident comments to 3 minutes or less, and please refrain from any side comments or discussions as they are distracting to others. I just have a few items. Please, please, please go to the park office and fill out a corrective action form if you notice any issues or violations happening within the park. The office then has it documented and can then investigate the issue as soon as possible. If you see something suspicious or see someone trespassing on your neighbor's property or downright breaking the law, then please call Northport, the City of Northport Police first, and then notify the park office, especially if it is during business hours, normal business hours. At the last meeting, I commented that it might be nice to allow our Canadian friends to say their Pledge of Allegiance after the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance is said. However, I have since found out from some Canadian friends that Canada does not have a national Pledge of Allegiance. So although the thought was a good one, it doesn't really apply here. So I apologize for that. We have a supplemental to add tonight. It's for a motion to rescind all previous board motions to extend the time for residents to fix homes that received damage from past hurricanes. Jim Oliver had mentioned this at our last board workshop. So when we get to supplementals, I have a motion that I will read, and if the board agrees, we can vote on that. And that is all that I had for the night. Thank you. Next, we have trustee reports. I'm going to start down with George. Anything, George?
I just want to remind everyone that I'm in charge of compounds, and everyone needs to re-register their cargo trailer. Anything that's left in the compound, boat, trailers, RVs, they have to be registered every year. A lot of people are not paying attention to this, and it has to be. If we don't start doing that, we may have to start removing some vehicles. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, George. Joni?
Just a reminder, if you have pipes or stakes in your yard for lawn care, make sure that either you landscape around them or clearly mark. We've had a lot of damage to the mowers as they've hit stakes and things that have not been removed. So please, 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 we will not have any lawn care service in the month of December so that we can decorate for the holidays. So you can put your lawn items out. There will be no lawn care service in December.
Thank you, Joni. All right, Rick?
Someone's on site trying to wrap up the first or the remainder of the project that you're currently working on.
Thanks, Rick. Deb?
I'm good.
All right. Bob?
A lot to top that one.
You're right.
I was going to give a presentation tonight about the upcoming pavilion that I had stated that I would do last meeting. However, that's been changed. It'll be at the workshop the next time. We are working on it feverishly, trying to get it done in stages. And that's all I got for right now.
Thank you, Bob. Jackie?
Good evening, everyone. I had the opportunity this week to sit in on 2 employee evaluations, and I was very pleased with the way they were conducted, and the employees contributed, and it was a pleasant experience, and I think we really have a truly cohesive staff on board, and I really appreciate that. And I appreciate Vicki.
Thank you, Jackie. Tim?
Well, for those of you who haven't seen the activity from this week and last week, we've had 3 new units come in, 2 this week and 1 last week. And we've got one more that's been approved through the ACC, and that's it. So, any of you guys got vacant lots, we're waiting for you at the ACC meeting.
Thank you, Tim. Don?
Nothing further.
All right. Being nothing, I'm going to open it up to resident comments. Is there anyone here that would like to make a comment at this time? Being none, we're going to move on to old business. First item we have for old business is our dumpster use agreement, OB1. Before we, let's open that up for discussion. So I need a motion on that.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All right. As I had stated before, because I have an interest in this, a personal interest, I'm going to recuse myself. I have filled out Form 8B, which is a memorandum of voting conflict for county, municipal, and other local public officers. So it's myself, Sean Slattery, because I am a board member of Holiday Park Park and Recreation District Board of Trustees, and for the special district. And what it basically states here is that the park dumpster use agreement was set up for vote at the board meeting, at the regular board meeting, is open to all residents of Holiday Park. However, I, Sean Slattery, as a resident and a board trustee, have a special interest in the passing of this agreement, as I am the property caretaker of several privately owned lots within Holiday Park, and may often have yard bags full of yard waste to dump into the yard waste dumpster. Originally, this agreement was set up specifically for park caretakers, but then the Board of Trustees modified it to be open to all park residents. So an argument could be made that I should be allowed to vote. However, since I already had told the board and the park residents that I would not vote on this agreement, I want to honor my promise to abstain from the voting. So I will be abstaining from this evening. And this is a document that it will be, that our secretary already has a copy of. It will be filed as part of our minutes for this evening. Thank you. Okay, so even though I'm not going to vote, I can still facilitate. So you have the Holiday Park Park and Recreation District Yard Debris Dumpster Use Agreement. We went over it in our workshop. It's been brought back, no changes. We have a motion and support. Any discussion on changes for this tonight? Being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I abstain. And it passes. All right, the next item is our gate project plan quote, and we have Archer Gates is the one that we picked from our workshop, and the information is before you. You've had a chance to review it. However, there was one new piece of information given us tonight, and so we need a motion to accept this. We have a motion. We need support. Okay, it's open now for discussion, and I'll let Vicki talk about the extra sheet that we received tonight.
Okay, so I just wanted to get some more information from the gate vendor that we selected to move forward in tonight's meeting as it relates to to their proposed installation timeline, to get an understanding, since it is affecting both our front and our rear gates, to get an understanding of how they're going to install those and keep our properties secure during times when they're not working on the gates during this process. So what they have come back with is that the installation will be a combination of both front and back gates. The front gate will be completed before the back gate is complete. For the back gate, the contractor will trench, cut, pour concrete, set new posts, and install all motors, the operators, for the gates. As soon as the fence is received for the rear gate and installed, then they will do the final move of gates and controls. So in the rear gate, they're not going to be moving anything as they are preparing for that move. Okay, so So that will all be prepared ahead of time. And then the front gate should take approximately a week to install all of the equipment that they're going to be installing there. And then the first parts of the back gate should take 2 weeks. When the fence arrives, the install should take 2 to 3 days. Plan to have delivery of the fence materials 1 month from the date that we submit the deposit to them, which is a 50% deposit. Then the final back gate changes over, estimating 5 to 6 weeks completion time from the date of the deposit being made. Contractor will work in sections to avoid having gates open at the end of each work and non-working days. So the property will always be secure.
Okay, any questions? We also received in our packets a drawing of how the back gate's going to work. So that looks, and that clearly explains what's going on. So does the board or trustees have any questions about this?
I just want to say that the amount of detail that's provided in this is fabulous. Thank you so much for the pictures, the narratives. Job well done.
Thank you, Jenny.
And also, Vicki and I have talked about this, and we can go ahead and make the deposit anytime we want, so we can get this going.
Okay. Right, very good. Thank you. So we have a total here, the cost of this, and the quote is $87,700.
To enlighten the people that don't know about the rear gate, we're moving it in 75 feet, is that correct?
Yes, correct. That's the pictures on the.
Okay, the picture's on the board, it's hard to see, but we're moving in 75 feet to allow more turning around facilitation.
And we're also expanding it out on each side of Tuscola, 12 feet on each side. So that will give the turning radius that we'll need in case someone gets to a point, you know, entering into before the gate, that they'll have an opportunity to be able to turn around.
Everyone see this? Do you have any questions about it? Do you want it explained at all? Everyone understand what they're seeing on the screen here?
Good, she's going to love it.
Is that better?
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
It's it won't have bars going up and down, is that correct? It's going to be gate.
It still will be our gates, but there will be bars. I'll show, yes.
In front of the gate.
The green here are going to be the gate bars. The red is going to be the gates themselves. And so this will open up this coming in, and then the bar will go up to allow you to drive through. Okay. The idea is the bars are going to go down after every car. Right now, when the gate opens, it takes so long to close that 5 or 6 cars can drive through. We're trying to stop that through the arm. The arm will go down after every car. Now, if the gate is open and there's a line of people here coming through, okay, the gate will stay open. The arm will just go up and down, allowing one person to go through at a time. Okay? Same with coming in.
And the bars also have breakaway pins.
Yes, the bars have a breakaway pin, so that if someone does hit the bar, it should break at the pin and not destroy the bar itself.
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
So we're hoping that this works out well for us. As Vicki had said at the workshop, she has investigated this at a sister park in the area. Not a sister park, but another special district in the area, and it works very well with them. So anyways, we have a motion and support. We need a vote. And the motion is basically to accept the proposal from Archer Gates at $87,700. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, the next item is our ACC rules and regulations changes. So basically, it's one change. And we reviewed this in our workshop. It's under 13, and it's all highlighted there. The thing that we added was in blue, and it says 10 feet. So what we're going with is 10 feet now, unless when it goes before the city, they change that. The board have any questions about this? No, we need a motion, sorry. We have a motion, we need support. Okay, any discussion?
Yes.
Tim was the motion, and Rick.
Well, you're the trouble.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yes, so we also need to change our deed restrictions to the 20 feet. We just changed it to 15.
Deed restrictions we didn't change. They
We
should be-
changed the deed restrictions from 10 to 15.
When? When was
Last
that?
year.
No, it wasn't deed restrictions. That was, it might have been general rules and regs.
Yeah, the deed restriction,
Okay.
No, it was not deed restrictions because we have to go through a whole process for deed restrictions.
we did not,
We changed it because we can't be more lenient than the city.
we did not change
We didn't
deed
have to change
restrictions.
it, though. I'm
can't
telling
do-
you, we did not change our deed restrictions
You
because
can't do the deed restrictions without having the.
we have to
residents
go
vote.
through a huge process to change any deed restrictions.
That's why it wasn't done from
So-
10 feet.
Let's
Yeah.
look.
Okay.
Rules and regs, maybe.
Rules and regulations got
Now, rules and regulations, I'll agree with that, but not deed restrictions.
No. That's why I brought it up at the trustee workshop, that we need to change both, because the other
We
one
don't
was
have to
never
delay the
changed.
meeting to look it up. But I'm almost confident we changed it to 15. Well, anyways,
Yeah.
so we did get, after the city said, to bring the residents up to date, after the city told us they would not give us anything in writing on what our new front setbacks requirements were going to be, we got a response in writing from the city. So they are reverting back to 1971. If your lot will not accept or accommodate the 20-foot front setback, they will revert back to 1971 setbacks, which the document we got from the city, thank you, Vicky, for all your hard work, is now 10 feet, if your lot will not accommodate that 20-foot. Anybody got any questions on that? So if you apply for a new home and you have a lot that's within question, we're going to tell you to go to the city to find out what they're going to give you for a front setback. And then we'll work with that.
Okay, just to be clear, everyone, for deed restriction changes, the process is the board has to create the sheets, and the sheet has to say the old language, the new language, and this has only been done once. We had our original deed restrictions created, and then one change to them back in 2022, I believe. Not 22, I can tell you here. Deed restrictions.
John, we've done it more than once since I've been on the board.
Well,
Yeah, so have I.
okay. The one I have here is, we have the original was on, well, it was changed on this 25th day of April 2022. That was the change, the latest change to it. And then our original deed restrictions, I believe, were written in, what's it, 2020. So the deed restrictions came out in 2020, and then they've had to change since then. So, all right. But the process for changing deed restrictions is lengthy because the board has to develop what we're going to do in a workshop. For every change, it has to be on a separate sheet of paper. You have to give the old, the new, and that's basically a voter, what do I want to say? It's a ballot. So a ballot for every change, and all those ballots have to be compiled and sent out. Once the board at a regular meeting says, we're gonna go with these changes, we're approving them, then that ballot, within the first 10 days after that board meeting, have to be mailed out to every member, every owner in our park. And those parks have, and then every member has so long to submit their vote back, and they have to be counted, and then it's decided. I think it has to be over 50% yeses of all people here So if there's 865, you have to have over 400 yeses, I believe. But anyways, we'll go through that.
You're right.
I haven't done it yet, but I'm just going by memory. In order for it to be passed, and then it's approved, and then you go forward. And then it has to go, then we send that to our lawyer. They get it all sent up the chain to get it registered or whatever in Sarasota County, and then it becomes official. So we have not done that since I've been here, I can tell you. Okay.
Sean, what it actually says is the front setback, there is no front setback in the deed restriction.
Yeah.
It says setback shall be conformed to the setback line established by adjoining units.
Okay.
So
So that's why we didn't have to change it.
yeah.
Okay. Very good. So we're clear. Yay. All right. So anyways, we have ACC rules. We have a motion and support. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that motion carries. The next item here is our activity waiver allowance for the in-park league play. Let me grab that. Yeah, for some reason I don't. How did I? There's a couple. I think. Well, you have gremlins here taking my sheets. Okay, this is. I'll read it so everyone has it. It's on the screen too. The Holiday Park Board of Trustees on this 13th day of November 2025 agrees to allow tennis, bocce, shuffleboard, and horseshoe, if applicable, league players to play on Holiday Park courts without the requirement of signing the new adopted liability waiver in order that league play not be disrupted for the 2025-2026 winter-spring season. The agreement is only valid for in-park league play from November 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026. Reasons: some of the area leagues have threatened to drop Holiday Park from their leagues, which would negatively affect many of our residents who look forward to league play each year. The new liability waiver was adopted and put into effect on the October 9th, 2025 regular board meeting, which did not give Holiday Park teams enough time to seek out other leagues and allow the HP district manager time to speak to the league leadership and participating area communities about the liability waiver. The Board of Trustees requests for the help of HP team captains. The HP team captains should have the liability waiver on hand at the HP courts for all visiting league players to voluntarily sign, and then the HP team captains must turn in the signed forms to the park office. Note, this is a one-time signature for each visitor. If the league visitor player refuses to sign the form, then they are still allowed to play on our courts for this season. The HP team captains should provide a list of all visiting players from each in-park event to our park office, including the league team name, the team name, and the community name, and the player names. The HP team captain and all HP players should be working within the participating leagues to spread the word about the requirement of signatures for the 2026-27 winter-spring season for those who want to play on HP courts. The HP district manager will be contacting the league leadership and area communities provided by the HP team captains in number 2 above. This communication will hopefully facilitate a better understanding of why leagues and visiting players do not want to sign the liability waiver form. It will also allow the HP district manager to explain why signatures will be a requirement next year. So for this, I think we would like to count who the motion is by, who it's seconded, and then how many yeses and how many nos I'd like on here. So,
I have a question.
yes. Yeah, let's have a motion.
Okay.
So, we have a motion by Tim
Second.
and a second by Bob. Okay, go ahead, Jackie.
Do the pickleball players have leagues come into the park?
No, not at
Okay.
this time.
I noticed that it wasn't on the list, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm asking.
I don't know if the horseshoe does either. That's why it's if applicable.
I don't know that they do either.
Any other questions about this?
Yes. What was presented to us at the workshop is this gives the office time to work with our neighboring communities and leagues for the 2026 season to possibly come up to a better solution. I thought this was done. It wasn't.
It's not, we're not changing
Okay.
on our end.
Because I gave out false information today. Sorry about that. That it was done, that we decided, I thought it was a great solution to this problem, that's how it was going to be.
Yes.
But then this has language in that it's going to be enforced next year. And that's not how I looked at it after our workshop meeting.
I think we'll have to vote on it again.
No, I don't. Show me where it says that, Tim. Where you having a problem? Which?
From what was given to us, well, read by you at the workshop,
Yes.
and I said that was a great resolution to this issue. And now we're putting a permanent thing into this liability waiver that I believe shouldn't be there until we can actually work it out and how we're going to go forward.
Oh,
with
you're
this.
you're saying, well, because
Now they're going to go out and tell their league that next year, I don't believe their league's going to move in any way.
we don't know that. We have the chance to, like I said, with the information provided to the team captains provide information to our
Right, I
district
understand that.
manager.
I don't
She
think
can
we
work
need,
with them.
yeah, I don't think we need to put this in the waiver already until we get it worked out on how it actually is going to end up being.
Well, the waiver is in place already. This is just giving an exception to in-park play. That's what this is for a year, for just 1 year this season.
I don't agree with it.
Okay, we'll vote no on it then.
I will.
Okay.
Well, we have to vote on it again next year.
Yeah. That's why I don't agree with it, because we're gonna,
No, there is no voting on it again next year.
you're gonna have to revisit it because you got a date in here that'll have to be changed. You have to revisit it. You've got 2025, 2026 season.
Yes?
Okay, so you're gonna have to revisit it to get that out of here.
No, 2025, 2026, we're voting it, this says clearly it's for 1 year. At the very top line, it says, in-park play from November 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2026. That's it. This is a 1 year, when you approve this tonight, you're given the authority for them not to sign the waiver for 1 year until September 30th, 2026.
So that's what I'm saying. You're gonna turn around and bring this back again.
No.
Okay.
No, it won't have to be. Only if you want to make a change to it in the future. Only if something comes up and says, we want to do this again for extenuating circumstances. I don't see that happening because we're giving everyone a year to make a change and work with the leagues and the area communities, many of whom I've already heard, many people have no problem with signing the waiver. When they read it, I don't understand. Every area around here, not just our park, but every community, if you go to the Aqua and you want to swim, you're going to sign that. If you go to a gun club, you're going to sign it. If you go to, every medical facility, you sign it. So it's something that I don't understand where the problem is. I still don't understand where the problem is.
Just the date.
So, and the date is only for this 1 year. It's saying, we're voting on this tonight to allow the leagues to come in and play without signing our waiver for this one season. And then that's it. After that, they have to sign the waiver.
Because we've already signed.
We're only giving them 1 year because everyone in our park has to sign it, and we're not going to continue to say people in our park have to sign this to use our facilities, and then anyone else can come in and use them without signing it. So it's not fair to our own residents. And the only reason we're doing this for 1 year is because of the backlash we received for league play. Now we have a year to figure that out. So the people that are on the leagues, it's up to you to start talking with your leagues. Find a different league. If you don't like if that league doesn't want to sign it, Or give that information to our district manager so that she can talk with them. And understand, because here's the thing, guys, we have not been told one reason why people won't sign this. They say, we're not gonna sign it and we're gonna pull our league from Holiday Park, but they can't give us a reason why. Okay, they don't need to. Well, we don't need to say that they can play here either without signing it. You know what I'm saying? It goes both ways.
So if we don't approve this tonight, there will be no exceptions. You have to sign it.
Yes, if we don't approve this, if you want to change the language somehow in this and strike something, that's fine, but if we don't approve this, then right now, the leagues cannot come in and play without signing the waiver. Because we've already approved the waiver, and all of our members, all of our owners and residents and renters are all signing it, okay? All right, I'm gonna allow, please give your name and your
Brad Carlson, 6876 Amoco. I guess my main concern is, you know, we're tennis players, there's no doubt there. But, I mean, we go to all the parks in the area, okay, La Casa, Bird Bay, all of them, and none of them require us to sign a waiver. I guess, why is that?
They would have to answer that, and that's one of the things that that our district manager is gonna be asking with them.
Okay.
Why they're not requiring it.
Right,
because
so it's not that everybody requires a waiver, like your point to, okay, the gun club requires your waiver, this requires your waiver. That's not true, it's because these other parks don't require any type of waiver from us.
Well, we're trying to find out why.
Okay.
Why they don't require it and why they won't sign ours.
Right, and I don't think there's anyone.
And we
any
have
of
a
the-
year to do that.
Any of the parks that we play at, which is 10, 15, none of them have required us to sign anything as of today. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Again, though, we're waiting for somebody to tell us why it's a big deal to sign it, and why no one else is requiring it. Because I think, here's the thing I think, guys, I think we're ahead of the curve on getting the signature for the liability. I think we're the first ones to put it out there, and so we're getting the most kickback from it. But I think as other parks see what we're doing and hear about it, I think they're gonna require the same thing, because it only makes sense to cover yourself as a park from liability. Okay, if the liability is the fault, if the negligence is the fault of our park, then we're gonna get sued, and there's nothing that's gonna happen to change that. But if the negligence is on the individual, they tripped and fell, or they played something and they got hurt somehow, and then they wanna come and sue us for their medical bills, that's what the waiver's for. Go ahead, yep.
Hold on, you gotta turn the mic on.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Norbert Auger. I've been in the park since 2019, and one of the reasons I come to the park, I came to the park to begin with, is because of the activities. And it sounds like, from what I'm hearing, is that we have a waiver that we're going to be putting in place, and that it's for us in our activities to come up with all the reasons for not having the waiver, when it should be the park or our representatives here coming up with a way to not have a waiver so we can continue to play. In terms of the park, I spoke with the president of the league, and they've had other parks propose this in the past and have stood firm in not allowing us or those teams to be able to play. So the teams went back to their boards, and the boards realized, and they took off the waivers so that they could play.
The waiver, if you were here and when the waiver was brought up and it was worked through our workshop and then brought to a meeting for approval, this came from, we didn't bring this up on our own. We didn't create this on our own. This was something that was told to us, proposed to us from our insurance company and from our attorney. They both reviewed it and they said, this is a good idea, you should be doing this. The signs that we put up were specific, based on play at your own risk. Those came from our insurance company. So these are things that we were told we should be doing. It's not something that we thought up one day and said, let's do this to make everyone's life hard. I'm just saying, that's why we're doing it. That's why it was approved.
And some of the reasons that I was given, all right, by people here, that the waivers, just sign it, because you really can sue anyway. It really doesn't mean anything. There's really not much on there.
Well, no, it depends on who's at fault. Right?
I understand, but the waiver's not going to make a difference. What does a waiver do?
Protects the park.
If it doesn't
does
make
it
a
say
difference,
so?
then why is there a problem with signing it?
Well, the problem with signing is all it takes is one or two people that don't want to sign a waiver. There are people that don't use the facilities you've mentioned. They don't go because they don't want to sign a waiver. They just don't. All right? They don't want to.
I don't know. We're still working through that, but we don't know of anyone that fits that bill yet. So, I mean, we have everyone that, we're expecting everyone that is in our.
No, I
sign
understand.
it.
And I signed it the first
Okay.
day I came in here.
Okay.
I signed the waiver. I don't have a problem. I have a problem when I can't play in this particular league, all right, because of a rule that we came up in our park that no other team in the league has. And we're talking a lot of teams.
Well, we have a year to figure that out and to talk to them and find out. But unless someone can come to us with a good reason why we should change our policy, and that's not a good reason yet. Just to say because they don't want to sign it is not, to me, doesn't make it a good reason. We have to understand what's the underlying reason. Why is there an issue?
Well, part of the reason I was explained to, all right, if you have, say you have 6 people on a team, all right, and 2 people don't want to sign the waiver. They just don't sign waivers.
Then they don't play.
Okay? Exactly. And that team, okay, in the whole set of lineup is penalized, okay, because they don't have a player to play there.
Okay, so you want us to put our park at risk?
No, I don't think your park's at risk. None of these other parks are. None of these other parks have it. Why is it our insurance company that does? All right? Every single park we play at, and we play at a lot of parks, all the girls' teams as well. Not one of them requires a waiver.
Well, like I said, we might be ahead of the curve, and they might start doing that.
Or way behind it.
Well, I don't know that that's the case, because most places do require it, most public places. So, like I said, right now, this is allowing us to have a year to figure this out if we want to change anything. But until we get a good reason, or we find out, from our insurance company, if they make a change and they say, no, you don't require it, that's fine. We're going to keep it, because that's our direction right now.
I understand, but I have a problem with the fact that you already put the rule in effect for this year and next year. Yes, I'm appreciative that you're going to allow us to do it this year, but the rule's already in there. And you put the rule in without going to these other teams and these other places in the park and saying, look, is there any problems with this before we implement this rule? None of that was done, from what I know.
Because we're not required to do that.
In the park.
We're not, it's our park.
You
We're trying to
people
protect
here,
our park.
aren't representing all of us here in the park?
we are.
Yes, so that's what you should be doing, is going to these people in the park.
Okay, I'm
and
gonna tell
saying,
you right
how
now.
is this going to affect us?
3 minutes.
3 minutes are up, but I'm going to say one more thing. I want to say one more thing. For every person that you have on the tennis teams that would like us not to have a waiver like this, I can go out there and find 10, 15 people that say it's a good idea and we want to protect our park. So we got people in this park, residents on both sides of the line, okay? Some people want us, they think this is a great idea and we should have it, okay? So the argument that, yes, we are affecting the teams, but we're also positively affecting a lot of other members that are owners in our park. And we're going to try to resolve it in this year. This gives us that chance to do that, going one way or the other. But we need more information. And again, this was something that that over the summer, our own insurance company said this is a good idea, you guys should be doing this. And so that's why we did it. And we don't have to get, okay, we didn't see it as a big problem. Now it is a big problem, we're gonna try to work that out. But tonight, we need to pass this in order to allow you to go forward and play your league play without signing the waiver.
I appreciate, Sean, for you allowing us to do this and allow us to get through the year, okay? And I appreciate you allowing me to speak. Thank you.
Thank you.
Norbert, can I have your address, please?
My address, 6785 Homey Court.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Kev McHugh, 6889 in Napa. And I guess you might have answered one thing there for me, was that this all seemed to take place during the summer when hundreds of us aren't here. And then I show up and boom, there's got to be a waiver, and we're going to not even, the 2 days before our league started, we didn't even know if we were going to play. And now we find out, well, now we get a year. But this is kind of a double-ended thing, the way I read it. The top, it says you have to sign it, it gives you a free year. Well, that's great. But then it also says, once you guys vote on it, and I think what Norbert's trying to say is, you guys represent us. So I know there's maybe only 100 people in the tennis club, but the other clubs too, it adds up to maybe hundreds of people. And it looks to me like once you guys vote on that tonight, which I know you're gonna, no matter what I say, and it's all gonna pass and be over and done with, that by next November 1st, it's done.
Well,
I'm
again,
hoping
we
it
have
doesn't.
that.
Just let me finish. So the way this is double-ended is saying, yes, it's for this year, but by November 26, it's done deal. So in other words, whatever you guys decide to do over the next month or two, it either passes or it doesn't. But it sounds like it's going to pass anyway, and we're
Well, like I said, it has to pass if you want to continue your league play.
yeah. And it all sort of depends on that president of the Peace River League, which has already been approached by this, and this is already asked before, can we sign waivers? And he was a very curt letter. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it was a very curt letter back to our league saying, we are not going to ask or force anyone to do it. If you're not there on Friday, you don't have it resolved by your park, you're out. They're not playing ball. I can almost tell you that. Because there's how many people in that league? 600? And they've been playing for 30-some years, 40 years. And all of a sudden now, while we were gone home for summer, you guys have decided this is the way it's going to be because somebody fell on a pickleball court. And I also have a son-in-law who's a lawyer out of San Francisco. We talked to him, and he said, if you put them signs up, that your legal guy should tell you as well, play at own risk. When I go into a public pool down the street, I don't have to sign nothing. When I go anywhere else, I don't have to sign nothing. Why do they have to sign to come in and play tennis? That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so we have a motion and support. And if you, go ahead.
Carol Clinch, 5014 Polina. Is there any way we can get from the insurance company? I mean, they can't have dreamed this up for us. Is there any way we can get from them who the other ones they've advised to do it? I mean, and is there a difference? The other thing is there a difference between public and private? We've stated, and I understand the ones that have this are public entities. So is there a difference then? Are we private or are we public?
Well, we are private.
I mean, to me, those are questions that I would like to know.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Do you have anything you want to add?
I will add that through speaking with our insurance company, how this, for one, came about, because we did have a gym waiver established already, a release of liability for the gym. So when they saw the gym, and then, of course, all of our different sport activities with the risk assessor that was here, that is how this became a topic of conversation and to bring that forward. And in the best way to do that through this release of liability, which of course they reviewed, as well as our legal, our attorney as well. But also they were in response to when I went back to them with the concerns, that we have received from the sports leagues is they were really surprised because they had not received that response from any other community that they represent. And they have in Florida, they have at least 1,000 that have sports league or release of liability waivers such as ours. So they did not understand what the concerns were. I was not able to tell them what the concern was because we haven't been told that. So, you know, they just didn't understand. They haven't had that issue from any, you know, that's come back to them that there was a concern about signing the waiver.
All right.
There? Just one more there, Kevin McHugh, Court. In back home in Canada, I run a summer or winter, either one, hockey team. And they call event insurance. So the last probably 5 years, I've had to buy this event insurance. So let's just say we play Monday nights at 8 o'clock. They have event insurance. So it's sort of a one-time specialty waiver kind of thing, and is not very expensive. And I mentioned it, I think, to Carol. That's what, when I saw her, it reminded me of, we used to get that. And I'm sure if it's a way out or a way with your insurance company to help smooth this over.
We already brought that up with our insurance company, and he said, no, there is nothing like
right?
that here.
Oh,
Yeah.
They
So
don't have that down here?
We already got that answer.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Just one quick note on to the district manager. Now, can we get a list or names of these these places that these insurance companies have given you, saying that they have no problem with the waiver? So we can kind of look at it.
We only have one insurance company, but we have public records. You can certainly make that request if you want some information about who our insurance company is.
Right. So can we get that from you?
Yes.
Okay, that'd be great if you could give it to us so we can kind of investigate it as a group and see maybe there's something we can take care of. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. So we have a motion, right? We have a motion in support. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Yeah.
We have one opposed. So we have 8 yes, 1 no.
And I'd like to tell you why I oppose. I would like to, knowing how things move so slow down here in Florida, I think that year is going to fly by really fast, and we're going to still be right in the same spot. I'd hate to see that year locked in there. That's why I'm voting no.
Okay, thank you. All right. Next item on our list is our review of our project list. So this is something we want to do once a month. And if you look at it, we need some updates. So we need a status if we walk through these. The first item here is our resurfacing of our sports courts. Did I hear that right? That's supposed to be done?
It's scheduled to be completed on November the 17th. They were going to be working some more on the court resurfacing this week, but because of the winds, they're not able to do some of the line painting that they were scheduling. So they pushed it out to November the 17th.
Okay.
To Monday.
I've been requested to take a break. We're going to take a 5-minute break, please, and then we'll come back. Okay, it is now 7 after 7, and we're going to get started again. So we were walking through our project list. We're going to continue doing that. So we looked at the first item at the top there. The second item is our catch basins. When are those supposed to be, that work completed? Do we have an idea?
I would give it another month, just make sure the asphalt and all that is good on all of them.
So by 12/15 is what we're saying right now?
Yes.
It should be done? Okay, we'll update that. Our gate entry system, we just approved that tonight. The cost is listed there, and that's going to start. So we're looking at, do we know when they want to start?
Beginning of January.
That's when we'll start it?
Yes, correct.
When you
Because-
started in December,
okay.
I remember.
So what I will do is, because there, originally it was about the deposit and whether we could do that. So now that that has been resolved, we'll go ahead and get them start, because they have to order all the supplies.
Right. We
You
could
know.
do the deposit, but maybe we don't want them to actually start the work until January, because now we're into holiday season. We're going to have people visiting, and there's a lot going on. Christmas, yeah. So maybe it would be a good project to start in January. Does anyone have an issue with
I do
that?
too.
Okay. Plus, we'll have more money in our bucket.
Yes, also,
Yeah.
so this,
Yes. Yep.
so then, Sean, this will be the first, this 87,000 will come off our project, by the first one to come off the 350 for the year, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So work with Archer, but I'd say you got January 1st, also the new year. So give them a date. I don't know, not to start until January. I don't know, second week in January, or January 10th, maybe, or something
Sure.
like
Okay, I'll get with them and
Just-
get that going.
that. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to put on here. We'll start January 10th. For now, we can always change. 1/10/26. All right. Next item is number 2 listed here. Okay, this one we need to talk about for a minute. So this is something we have, as a board, said, yeah, this is a project we want to do this year as part of our $350,000 that we have committed to new projects. However, some upfront work has to be done here. We need somebody to step up, either a trustee. Okay, I'm hearing in my ear over here that we have a trustee that will step up to do this. What we're gonna, and it's Rick Haggard. Thank you, Rick. He says he will move forward on this, and what we're looking at is the plan. We need to have somebody, which will Rick, get with all the groups over in Phase 2 that use that area. So we're talking the pool, we're talking all the buildings, the men's club, we're talking even things like if, there was talk before about a water fountain at the pickleball, or electrical at the pickleball courts, or, upgrades to the bocce. I don't know, but talk to all the groups about what the needs are, what the wants are for power and for water. Okay, and find those things out up front, because we have a pavilion project that we want to get moving over there, and we need to know what the needs are electrical for that area. And again, we're looking at the board to approve that, but you have to put the plan together of all the needs that you can hand to contractors to get RFPs from. And once you have that information documented, you can hand it out, see who is interested in that. They can give us back quotes of what it's going to take, and then we can move forward with that. But there's a lot of that upfront legwork has to be done, and Rick says he will do that, which is awesome.
Sean, do we know if we have the power ability in front of the Phase 2 building, that transformer? Do we know if we have power there?
At this point, no. That's part of this. That's the whole idea. Is
So Florida Power and Light won't tell us that?
no? They said you have to. Well, I'll let our district manager talk to that, because she spoke to them. They came out and she spoke to them about it.
Yeah, so when they conducted their site visit, with regards to the power needs in that area. They said first that we were going to have to hire an electrician, so they understood what our power needs are. I mean, how can they say, yeah, they can tell us what the capacity is, but that they have at that transformer, but to tell us, you know, what kind of power we're going to need, if we're going to need to make any changes, they need to know what our power requirements are, which is why we need an electrician.
So we put the plan together through Rick of what we're going to need out there, okay? And we may have to, maybe that would be enough if we know how many amps we need at each of the boxes at each of those buildings, and we're talking like the pool too, the pool area for lighting. I mean, all of that has to be looked at, a comprehensive plan, and then maybe that is enough for FPL to tell us whether we have the power at the transformer or
They
not.
could tell us if we have 200 amp, 600 amp there, or what?
Yeah. Well, they're just saying, I think they can once they see our plan, hopefully. But then the next step, obviously, is to get the RFPs out there and get the quotes in. Okay. So we're going to move that along. That's good, because it's really important, I think, for us to work on that for this year if we're going to go forward, especially with the pavilion. Next item here is our landscaping, and are you going to speak to that?
I can speak to that. We have not made any, other than just working with our maintenance and grounds that I've been working with, just identifying all the areas and what we're going to be looking at for our landscaping material needs to begin to go to the different types of landscaping companies to get all of the quotes together. So, you know, just working through the gate entry system first.
Is it possible to put some type of estimated date on here for that? Is it something that we're going to look at doing in February and January and March? We know?
So we'd like to begin, when we move forward, that we were looking at more in the March, April timeframe of actually doing the work. So I believe that we'd be looking at a February of bringing pricing and the plan more to the workshop meeting.
All right, very good. Okay, and then number 4 there is our remaining catch basins and culverts. What's the plan?
They've given me a price on the sidewalks, but I haven't got the price on the rest of the catch basins and culverts yet. They're working on it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's forthcoming. We're going to need that. All right, we're moving on to page 2. Does anyone have anything they want to understand or questions about our medium? It's pretty straightforward. I had some questions going on the next page. This is our long term. So I'd ask everyone to take a look at our long term and bring up items that they thought should be moved to medium term. Yeah, or if they have questions about some of these items, which I do. First, I'd like to ask about number 4. It says replace pagodas in back of dolphin fountain pagodas. We've just had all those painted, right? All the dolphins were just painted. Is that something that's done, or is there still work to do there?
Well, the dolphins are, but are the pagodas? I've asked that question.
Oh, those pagodas are buildings,
those
right?
buildings?
Those green buildings?
Yeah.
Weren't they just painted over the summer?
No.
No.
The pagodas, I think that we're talking about
Are
is
those
the
the
flower,
trellis?
yeah, the trellis things that got blown away from the hurricane.
Okay, so it says pagodas in back of dolphin fountain.
There used to be one on each side.
Yeah, it's on each of the fountains.
The little ponds.
Oh, the little.
You know where those green structures you're talking about?
Yeah.
It's in front of those where the pond, where the fountains are.
Okay. Very good. Now I at least know what we're talking about here. Okay.
But we did paint the dolphins, and Mark Raguth has been doing and Sharon has been doing most of the painting of they did all the dolphins. They have completed some of the benches and tables that are around, like the pond on Paulina.
All right. So we have replaced broken sidewalks, and we have a proposal. I believe the proposal that came in from Summit was about 140K.
140,250.
The board hasn't decided whether that's something we want to do yet or not, but it does say here that it should be done prior to road replacement work.
Yes.
So we understand that. And what's the reasoning behind that for everyone to understand?
You'll tear up the roads if you do your sidewalks last.
Okay, but you don't tear up your sidewalks if you do the roads
No,
last?
sidewalks and asphalt different.
Okay.
Sidewalks will be 6 inches thick,
Yeah.
and that should support new homes coming in, trash trucks and all that.
Yep.
Okay, so if something heavy drives over them, it's not going to break them up. Okay.
No.
So that's something to know, everyone. It's going to be 6-inch thick, not, I think the current ones are probably 4 inches thick. Oh, you think they're 6 too? Still. All right, anyways.
See, I was told differently about that by people that were here when they done the roads before, that when they tore up the roads, they tore up the edge of the sidewalk too because they weren't careful. So if we put in new sidewalks before we do the roads,
That's what I was told. When I moved in, they did the roads in phase 2, and they said once they settle, that they tend to separate, and then they'll pour the sidewalks so that they meet. And they said they do the sidewalks next, and then all of our expenses change because of hurricanes and other priorities. So yes, when I was at the meeting when
Yeah, I do too.
why can't we
Okay, what was Jackie? What did you say?
We have some experts in the park that are very familiar with concrete and pavement, and maybe we should consult with them before we go forward with our plan and what we're going to do.
Well, it sounds like we need some more information.
When I was sitting right here,
Yeah.
I contacted 2 supervisors from up home, and they said definitely do your sidewalks before the blacktop, because if you get heavy trucks, your concrete trucks on the new blacktop, they're going to make ruts in it, and they're going to, if they turn the wheels, it's going to slide the blacktop because it hasn't cured enough.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so anyways, should that be moved to our medium? The replacement of the sidewalks? Because right now, it's not even in our, it's on our long term, which is 2 years or more. So that's my first question on this. Do we want to move it at this point?
I'm okay leaving it where it is. We still have some other work to do before we can do the roads.
Yeah, I agree.
Leave it where it is. For
Well, if you move it to medium, we're still saying it's 1 to 2 years out. This is saying, right now, it's saying it's more than 2 years out. That's why I'm asking, because we're already getting quotes, so.
Okay.
It's up to you guys. I can leave it here, I don't care, but, what do you want to do?
Medium.
That's fine.
I'm getting a lot of shakes of the head saying medium, so we're gonna move it to medium. Again, it's still 1 to 2 years out. Resurfacing, we're not talking about that yet, that's more than that. Our pool lights, that's another one I would like to move up to medium. Phase 1 and phase 2 pool lights, I know we're
Yes.
they're doing the power, but.
May I speak?
Yeah, sure.
At a previous meeting a few years back, we approved to put lights at phase 2 pool only.
Okay, but there wasn't a plan yet?
No,
It was
that
just-
was right before the hurricane.
Okay, all right. So we'll move that up.
Out of the water.
All right.
And there wasn't insurance.
There was an insurance thing, plus the county requires certain illuminations.
Yes, we have to have better lights, everything.
But I know that when they resurfaced phase 2, they didn't hook the lights back up because of liability. That we'd have to redo pool construction component if we wanted to reactivate those lights.
Okay.
Yeah. 'cause
Anyway,
they were-
so that's a project that needs a lot of work too, but
Yes.
The
we're
lights,
moving
that
it to
are, the lights that
medium.
are in the pool right now are illegal.
Yes.
The ones that are in it,
Yes.
but are they just?
They're disconnected.
They're disconnected, yeah. Yeah, but there should be some type of grandfather clause on that, because you can't make us I mean, those were put in a long time ago. They're disconnected, so they're not being used, so, I mean, I don't think you're not
don't
saying that the
The
counties-
lights,
or
the lights aren't adequate enough to pass the county's rules.
Right, that's why they're disconnected.
That's why they were disconnected.
Yes.
Nighttime, after dusk,
Right.
Yeah.
not enough illumination.
So you're saying that the illumination has to be in the water, the requirement, as well as outside the water?
Yes.
So if we put new
Poles.
lights over there right now, we can't do anything until we investigate or put the money in the relighting the pool itself.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
See, that's a big project. All right,
Yeah.
that's why it's here. But we can move it and we can start looking at that.
I think until we see what we're gonna do electrical wise, we better wait.
Well, yes, and that comes to the next item. It says upgrade to central outdoor plumbing to allow for additional cold water stations at bocce and horseshoe courts. And we could add pickleball in there too, probably.
I don't know if we need that. Everybody carries a water bottle now anyway.
Well, and that might be the case, I guess, but we need to find that out, right? That's what you're gonna be doing, is talking to all the groups and find out what they want. There you go, we'll have an answer to that. Upgrades to park drainage system, I mean, we're working on that. So should we remove that? That's not a long term. We're doing that right now.
Yeah.
So I think we remove that. Number 9 is gone.
Well, I think originally we didn't want to talk upgrading the swales.
Well, that's not what this says. It just, I mean, do we want to change this to swales? And are we ever going to have the money to upgrade the swales?
No.
Really, realistically?
I got
Better
it.
off building a new park.
Outside input.
This was to finish up the culverts and catch basins
Yeah,
for 4 on the short term.
yeah.
So we can cross that off.
So we're crossing number 9 off for now. Additional hopefully, well, we'll see. I mean, doing the work we're doing on the drainage system, the culverts and the drainage, may increase the amount of water in our swales. And if it doesn't drain correctly, we may have an issue there that we have to deal with too. Well, we have to wait and see. We talked about that. No, additional storage facilities for park, including sheds and sports clubs. Didn't we just put in sheds for our sports clubs?
Yep.
So that can come off too, right?
Yes.
Okay. Phase 1 compound paving, okay, that stays here. I would like us to fix that sinkhole on number 13. Can we move that up? Because I don't think that's gonna be that expensive to do. And it would be nice. Everyone complains about hitting that.
And we don't really know that it's a sinkhole. I mean, it's a dip, but it's not been investigated up underneath. And as of right now, the confirmation, again, has been that it is our responsibility to repair. Now, what is up underneath the asphalt? I don't know. I don't know what's up. We'll have to
but
do a
we have to have
locate.
someone
and-
come in, dig it up and see.
Is that something that Summit could investigate for us?
Well, that's what my suggestion was gonna be, yeah. I would like to move that up to short term. Let's move that one to short term and have it with Summit.
Just for the record, I'm not very happy with the asphalt they've been using. It's kind of soft, so I've been talking to them about it, getting them more of a DOT grade asphalt put in.
Okay, great. Conference call equipment, is that something I don't know where that came from and if we remove. Number 16, replace damaged reader boards in front of electronic sign to allow for easier reading. Are we working on that right now, doing some of those?
Yes, we have. You may have noticed because some of them were now brighter that once were almost out. But we have replaced 4 boards and they are $350 a piece. So we replaced the ones that were pretty much out. I want to confirm this once again because today I got some conflicting information, but from the Stewart Signs, they had told us that there would be only 10 boards remaining that would have to be replaced to make the sign whole, as far as having all of the light boards replaced. So I just wanted to bring back to our project list
Okay,
to look at.
but how are we handling that cost? What bucket are we pulling money
Well,
from?
so right now, we have our budget line item for the digital sign.
Okay.
And I'll need to look at that to see I think the budget line item is 2,000. And so the replacing of the 4 boards is all we were hoping. And, it's got its good results, so we're good with it for now. So it went under, and it was under my dollar amount to spend for that and under the budget amount for the fiscal year, for the 4 boards.
Okay.
They are out of the operating. Now, moving forward, it really is, I put it on the project list, or kept it on the project list just to update if we wanted to look at that in the future to replace.
Well, since we're
the
actually
boards.
doing work on it, I'm going to move it to medium
Okay.
Okay.
because it's being done in-house, and I'm going to make that note. I mean, it's not part of our project, and this is stuff that we're going to pull from our project money.
Right.
So we're actually working on this. So we'll keep it just so it's documented, but it probably isn't going to come out of project money. All right. PVC tubes to be placed on each homeowner's mailbox. That's ongoing, and it's in-house. So those were items that I think we just put on here to track. And then we have the electrical outlets in Holiday Parkway, center median for Christmas lights, and then the last one. I don't know that we're going to be doing anything with this right away here, so unless someone has something else to say about that. Carol, go ahead. Yeah, turn it on.
5014 Paulina. I would go up and whisper in George's ear, but I didn't know if I would get in trouble. You're eliminating, I think it's a 10. There's a part of that 10 that is being eliminated if you take that whole thing off.
Well, an additional RV compound?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're filled up our ones we have. Do we need another one?
I don't know. That's why I wanted to see what he thought.
Okay, George, what do you say?
No, not at this time. I mean, it's getting close, but I got something coming up at the next workshop that
Okay.
we'll look at too.
Okay, great. All right, so we're done with this list. We're going to have updates. They'll be coming to probably the workshop. I think it would be better to start reviewing this in the workshop
I
instead
do
of.
too.
We didn't get to it last workshop. That's why I thought it was important to do. All right, here we go with our general rules and regulation changes. So this is before, you've all seen this before. The blue, though, is something, some new things. Does anyone have, I'm just going to open it up for questions. I would take everything up until V, and V we're going to talk about along with the next 3 items on our agenda. So if you have any questions about the items in blue or yellow on the first few pages all the way to the last page, let's have a motion to accept these first. We have a motion to accept and support. Okay, now it's open for discussion. Any changes or any questions?
I have a question. On number 3, residents, guests are not permitted to reside within a home or use district facilities without the resident home also residing in the home.
Yes, are you talking about, number 3, no.
On page 1.
Oh, A3, A13. There you go, okay.
A13.
Yes,
So, if I wanted to have my immediate family use my home, but not the park facilities, just my personal home, I could not do that. Is that what you're saying?
yes. Yes, because our rules, our district, our rules say, I believe that you can't leave, if you have a guest, this whole thing about guests implies that you are here, and when your guest is here, you can't leave the home and then have someone else come in and say they're your guest. Well, you're not here. They're not your guest at that point. They're either a renter or, yeah. Yes, and that's what we're saying here.
Well, it also states that you're responsible for your guests. So if you're not here, how can you be responsible?
Exactly.
So, I see that rule broken a lot in our park.
Well, that's why we're putting it in here specifically so that we can refer back to this because it's implied. This is the thing this rule has been implied since we've been a park. Okay, since we've had these general rules and regulations, but we have people coming in that will come back and say, well, it's not explicitly say that, you know.
Okay.
And so we're trying to make things more explicit for people who give those arguments. Anything else? The big ones are, you know, we're talking about the ID badges.
Yes.
And we're making that explicit because of the same type of arguments. The ID badge is on multiple pages. It's on page 2 in a couple spots at the top and then the under A3 and under C. And then we, again, for D, we actually just made that area, that section refer back to what we just changed when we created the compound rules and regulations for recreational vehicles. This was something that Cheryl Morris did while she was still on the board, and we approved it over a year ago, and we never changed this wording here in our, so that
Where
was
is
done.
that?
Right here. D.
Under D.
Just to make it
Page 2D.
sound rules. The wording.
And they also stated about the general maintenance, because that is something that we were saying as part of our violations, but it wasn't explicit here either, so it's explicit now. Okay, so if everyone's okay with that, we're going to move on to, and then we added number W, which we already talked about.
Yes.
So I want to talk about V for a second and just give an overview. I gave this overview before at our workshop, but I'm giving it again real quickly. There was some question when we were talking about our the way we do violations, identify a violation, do a fine, and collect fees. And that's what Section V talks about, as well as the next items that we have as new resolutions. What we found out was in reading, the interpretation of 1855 for our fine committee and all those that have come before working on this process was that 1855, when it talked about facilities, was talking about the park as a whole. And so every violation had to go before our fine committee. It had to be written up, it had to come to the board, and the board had to approve it, and then it had to go to the fine committee, and every communication had to be through certified mail. And that was a very cumbersome and expensive, time-consuming. And as you can see, little got done in the park and in the areas that, for cleanup especially, that things that should be relatively easy to take care of. So we went back to our attorney. Vicki and I discussed this, and over the last, since we had our workshop, we've had 3 different reviews with our attorney and 2 different conference calls to speak about this, what we're presenting here tonight. And a lot of the blue that you see is because of those discussions with our attorney. And what we found out that 1855, specifically 15G, and they also looked it up at the Florida statutes for HOAs. But basically, when it says facilities there, it's talking about your common areas. And so we define facilities now as your buildings, all your recreational facilities, and your common areas. So any violation that is committed on those within that area, those areas, have to go. You can't assign a fee or the park as a whole cannot assign a fee to the district without going before the board first and then the fine committee. But anything else that happens on private property, those violations can be handled directly by our park office, our district office. So what we've done here is we split it apart. And if you look at all of our deed restrictions, they apply specifically to home ownership, to our private property here in the park. And if you look at our Architectural Control Committee rules and regulations, they also apply to all of our homeowners, okay, the individual properties and lots, vacant lots. So what we're showing here is there's two ways of handling this. If you are committing a violation within the park common areas or facilities, you're going to go through one process. And if you commit a violation based on our deed restrictions and our architectural rules and regulations, then you're going to, we're going to handle the violation a different way. And that's what's defined. And now, so if you have questions about that, you can ask them. I'll open it up. But I'm not going to go through all this individually because the board has had this. This is our second viewing, and it's a lot of changes. I may hit on a couple key things to show you as we walk through this, but I'm not going to go through it specifically. So as we go along, if you have a question, come up to the mic and I'll allow it. So for V, the first part is 1A. That's talking about those violations for residential properties, okay? And we've split out two items. I just told you that our deed restrictions are all talking about properties, and so is our Architectural Control Committee. But we split two out. We split out the ones talking about, for our deed restrictions, 3R and 3S are talking about when your property is destroyed because of a hurricane, you have so long to fix it, okay, or demolish it. That's what those two are. And we decided prior, I mean, since I've been here, that those types of items need more time, and the board needs to look at them closer because they take, they should have more consideration to our property owners in getting those repairs done. And sometimes we even set aside those rules for an extended time if there's, you know, like after Ian and after, and last summer, or 2 summers ago when we had some Milton and those things, hurricanes come through. So we split those out, so they're going to be handled. We're excluding those two, number 39 and 40, and for the architectural rules and regulations, and 3R and 3S. But everything else, basically, under our deed restrictions and our architectural rules and regulations will be falling under a process that falls under 1A, and that's where we're going to go. The office is going to be finding those violations, going to be communicating through phone calls and email primarily, to let those people know that they have to make those, fix those issues. And they have so much time to do that. And then it gives us if we can't reach them that way, we can use U.S. mail. But U.S. mail is always going to be for process of notification. If we have to put an estoppel on the form, on the property, because we're fixing it ourselves within the park, then we can bill them that way. And if they sell the property, they don't pay at the invoice and it gets an estoppel. When they sell, that's when we get paid. So that's how we're handling 1A does that. 2 is the other way. 2 is if there's an issue that has to go before the Board of Trustees and the Fine Committee. And those are following under 2 there. So that's how it's split up under our rules and regulations. So with that, I would like to get a vote on this, and then we'll move on to the resolutions. If you have questions, please speak.
We make a motion, we accept. There is?
We have a motion, didn't we? Yeah, we already have a motion and support. We just need all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now we're going to talk about, I'm running out my throat. We're going to talk about 4 first. I want to talk about our tables before I talk about the resolution that discusses the tables. So 2504, this is the resolution that's going to list all your violations for owned properties, which are homes or vacant lots. And again, this is the same wording as what we show in under V1, or actually V2 for this one. No, V1A, sorry. V1A is for this. Of course, and these violations are specifically, we list all the violations for the district, or the deed restrictions and the architectural controls. So now you can reference them quickly. If you're going through your table, you can quickly go back to where it was found in either our deed restriction or our architectural control committee rules and regulations. So, and the other thing we changed was all of the violations are $100 per day. We're not going to deal with the $25 or $50 or whatever that was before. It's all $100, and it can if it's after, if you haven't fixed it after 10 days, it's $1,000. So I need a motion and support for this one.
So moved.
We have a motion by Joni and support by Bob. All those, any discussion?
Thank you. This is so much more clear.
Yes, I agree. Thank you, Sean. This was a lot of work. Vicky also.
Amazing.
Oh, thanks. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now 2505. Now this is going to be V2. Also, and you'll see how it's referred to in our 2503, which we'll talk about next. But this table is the same. It's still $100 a day up to $1,000. But this is the one that you're going to have to go through. It's for district facilities, which includes all district buildings, recreational facilities, and common areas. If the violation occurs in those areas, then you do have to bring it before the board, so that you have to follow the process that we basically, which we had before, except we changed it so there's going to be less. We don't have to use certified mail as much as what we had before, and it will be brought before the board first, and then it will go to the fine committee, and then if they approve it, then it's in effect. So we have a motion on this. Do we have a motion and support? All those in favor? Any discussion other than?
We need a motion on it.
Oh, we need a motion on this one and support. I thought we just had Joni and Bob. That was Joni and Bob. Oh, okay. That was on 05. Okay.
Yes.
We need another one. We have Rick has moved to accept it.
Second.
Bob is second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, and approved. I will say also that now that we've approved these resolutions will go back to our attorney, and our attorney has reviewed these 3 times. They will then put their information up in the top corner, and they will file these. Which oh, with the
Oh, good catch.
Where is it? Very good. We'll fix that. Thank you. So that change will be made. Okay, let's talk about the last one here, which is our 2503. 2503 basically pulls those together. It is so you can execute the this whole fining process either by going through our rules and regulations, section V, or this procedure here, which spells it out fully. So under 1A, we're talking about using the residential property violations, and then if you look at 1B, we're talking about the district common area violations, and then 1A just goes, it says it's going to be, it's not going to execute 2 through, oh, how did that not get changed? It says 2 through 9 still. We changed that once, and I don't know how that got lost. But it really should say, there's a typo there, it should be 2 through 13, and 2 through 13 under 1B, where it says, in this case, the remaining items 2 through 13 below applicable and must be executed.
Okay.
So we need a motion and support for this.
Second.
We have a motion by Tim, supported by Don. Any questions about this? The rest of it's pretty much the same, although you'll see that we have in there most of the, again, we're going to start with calling people, and there'll be a phone call. If we can't get them that way, we're going to go through email, and if that's unsuccessful, then we're going to use regular U.S. mail for most of the process. If it gets down to where we're going to do an estoppel, or it has to come before the board, then we're going to do the certified mail for the board, and then for the fine committee, to give them a chance through certified mail, which is what we had before. So we have a motion and support. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We have no new business. We have one supplemental item here, which I mentioned at the beginning, and I just need to find it again here. I do with it. Yeah, I put it at the very beginning here. Here we go. Okay, this is for the extensions. Again, Jim Oliver brought this to our attention at our last workshop, and so it was a good mention, and so I think we need to do this. It may have been, I think when we did the original motions, we may have had time limits around them, but just in case, we can cover it here. So the motion is, and I'll just give this to our secretary, or she has a copy already. The motion is all extensions for residential home repairs because of past hurricanes have now officially expired as of 11/13/2025. Any homes still damaged from past hurricanes may now be in violation of the Holiday Park deed restrictions and Architectural Control Committee rules and regulations, and are subject to the Board of Trustees and Fine Committee process under Board Resolution 2025-03. That's just basically rescinding what we had said before about the extensions. Can I get a motion here, and then we'll open it up for? We have a motion in support. Bob has supported. Tim and Bob, yep. Any discussion from the board here on this? Open it up to Jim.
Jim Oliver, 6566 Greenview Court. My question was, back then, is the original catastrophe with Ian, we, as a board, met and we took the time limit of the 3 months off because of what the destruction, and we never closed that loophole, so people are still living in homes in here that have hurricane damage, and they are not fixing it because they're not given a time limit. That's all I wanted to do, was close that up. Milton and Eileen, whatever that thing was, we never opened those up except to get into the process. Tim takes care of the rest, but going all the way back, there's some places in here. I don't know if anybody, if you own a place in here that has hurricane damage all the way from Ian and you're renting it to somebody, you're making a profit and you're not fixing your home. We need to close that, and then you guys take care of it from there.
Right, and that's what we're doing here. This motion will close that, and then we have a process we just voted on tonight for the new violations, and our district manager will get right on that.
Sounds good to me.
All right?
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have a motion, support. Any discussion from the board? Being none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And I believe there are no other supplemental items. Trustee comments. I'll just open the floor. Being none?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
wait.
I forgot to mention that this goes to Joni, that U.S. Lawns went out behind Kena Court where we planted some jacarandas last summer, and it was so overgrown. They were contacted, and I want people to go out and look and see what a great job they did. Dave Cox brought that to my attention today. And Vicki, have a great vacation.
Yes. Have a fun time.
Thank you.
Don't think about this. Please.
Okay. Any other trustee comments?
Yes.
Yes.
Tuesday night, ARC meeting, there's still openings for president and second vice, and there's no nominations, and that's not a good thing.
Sure. Okay, thank you, Bob. And Bob's right. We need people to step up to these positions. They're volunteer, but things don't, their activities are going to take a big hit if we don't have people on our HP ARC team. So, okay, and Vicki wanted to say something.
As we have more and more of our residents coming back into the park for the season, I just want to remind everyone to just kind of please be patient and slow down when you're driving in the park. We had a vehicle come through the exit gate, speeding at least 45 miles per hour, trying to get into the gate before it closed. It almost hit one of our staff members. So it was a pretty close call. I was able to locate them and have a discussion with them about it. Also, there's been reports of speeding and not stopping at stop signs. Remember, the speed limit is 15 miles per hour, and just want you to all follow the traffic laws and safety rules to protect yourself and others in Holiday Park.
Thank you, Vicki. Okay, being no other trustee comments, opening it up to resident comments. Oh, we have one mother.
I want to remind everybody it's becoming that time of year. Starting Monday, we'll start bringing out the Christmas decorations. Last year, we had a bundle of volunteers help with the lighting. I'm getting very old myself and feeble, and I can't do so much anymore.
No.
So,
Funny man.
more residents to help out, the better it goes. And I'm going to have Kathy put it out on text messaging when we're doing things. So let's all have some happy holidays and decorate the place up.
Just a reminder, they'll do one more lawn mow at the end of the month.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch and make sure there's no cords out where they're mowing. That's all until December 1st. Yeah. Well, are you putting cords? Aren't the cords in areas where they don't mow though? Most of those cords.
So it's around the gazebos, the pod gazebo and the main gazebo.
Okay, do they have to be like the area over? The only area I know that there's a lot of cords that are on the grounds going back and forth because of the lights are the gazebo at the pond for sure. Can you just wait on that one until after they mowed the last time? The ones around here in the pagoda or whatever, the gazebo on not the pagoda, the gazebo here in front is aren't those all off the? Yeah, they're solar, but they're also aren't they? Yeah, they're off the area where they're mowed. They're not actually laying across the grounds where they're mowing the. Are they?
But around the main gazebo. And if they ask me, hey, I have the tree lighting on the 29th, yeah, we can wait. But I don't think we want to do that.
So, we're done. So, they were just here this week. So you're saying
It sounds that way.
Yes, I would say yes.
So, but but next year, our contract, you know, we want the two to be at the beginning of the month and in the middle of the month or somewhere, so that it's the two. Is it one mow or two mows? It's two mows. The two mows should happen prior to Thanksgiving, is what we're saying going forward.
Because we just gave them instructions the other way,
Yeah.
because last thing that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna get complaints no matter what, but I guess we're gonna have to go that route, or we're gonna have to change the date.
Either that, or we just don't mow around the gazebo.
Well,
Trying to communicate where.
Can't guarantee it.
I agree, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
well, you know more about it than I do, so it's up to you guys. But it sounds to me like the consensus here is just to hold off on the next one.
Yes, I
Do we get because we're holding off on a mowing, we should be able to have that mowing at some other point if we want. Oh, did we use our floater? Well, this should be another floater though, if we're canceling a mowing.
Okay.
Oh, we already had two mows in November? Oh, well then we shouldn't have one anyway.
Because,
Why is everything so difficult?
We're going to have a golf cart parade this year.
Okay, I'm getting loopy, so let's go to the resident comments, please. Oh my goodness, go ahead, Jackie. Go ahead.
I was serious. We are going to have a golf cart parade, and the other thing that we're going to do is start up the old tradition of cookie swap. So everybody get your cookie recipes out, and
When is that?
that's going to be on the
Saturday.
Saturday, the 20th, the Saturday
Thank you.
before Christmas.
December 20th.
Yeah.
Put that in your calendars.
Yep, check the calendar, check the bulletin boards, check your newsletters. It's all there.
Okay. And I just want to state one other thing and remind the board that I will be gone for the next 2 weeks. I leave Saturday and will be gone for 2 weeks, so, right. That's
Lucky
it.
you.
Okay, go ahead. We're opening up now to resident comments.
Are we on here? Okay. Rich Kewich, 5224 Polina, the University of Michigan. Go Blue. This is more for Bob. The pavilion. I know it wasn't brought up. It was just briefly brought up that you weren't going to talk about it. Selling tickets. I get a lot of questions, believe it or not. What's going on? There's for, there's against. What I'm looking for is information of not, when is there a place and time that I could go? Say the steering meeting. I thought tonight was going to be it. Where can I go to get updated info?
Okay, well, I'm going to say just two things on that. The board had I had one piece of paper put in our packets. There was no upfront discussion. It wasn't an agenda item. It just came out of nowhere. Okay, and I said no to presenting that tonight because number one, this isn't a workshop. Okay.
I'm not questioning.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm explaining it to you and to anyone else who may have a question about it. What Vicki and I did was we wrote up some next steps, and we did send them back to the chairperson of the Pavilion Committee. And one of those things is to identify that there's two areas that have to be looked at. One is what we talked about tonight, the electrical needs in that area. So that has to walk hand in hand with the pavilion work that's being done.
Yeah, we know that.
That's one item. The other item is, it was discussed in that one sheet that there was going to be some type of turnover of when the pavilion committee got to the point where they had some bids on some of the work being done, that they were going to hand that over to the board or even maybe a different committee. And I wanted to be clear with the chairperson that no, the board is not, this is donated money. This is not park money per se. And so it has to be handled by that committee. That committee should be on point from the beginning of the project to the end of the project. Okay, there's no getting to a certain point and throwing it over the wall to someone else. So I want to make that clear to them. And the other thing I want to make clear is that the board itself is only going to handle anything to do with that committee in the pavilion itself. We're only here to work on actionable. If you have something that's actionable, you want a quote approved, or you have a plan that you're saying, let's move forward, and is it okay? Those are actionable items that that committee can bring to the board, and we will take action on it at a workshop first, and then we will motion and vote on it at a regular meeting. I don't think the committee's there yet. They're not there yet to bring actually actionable information to the board. What they should be doing is bringing the planning that they're starting to talk about. That should come before our residents. So they need to start having residential, open, public meetings to discuss about this pavilion project way before it comes to the board. And I want to make that clear to them, because they have been working on some things and they have some information they want to give, but they're not going to give it out. It's not the proper place to give it out at either our workshop or our regular meeting. They need to do that at a public meeting with our residents and get the feedback with the people that are here at the meeting about which way they want to go and how they want to spend that money. Because in the end, that committee needs to then go forward with whatever plan is in place, that's picked. They have to sell that to our residents, and they need to spend time on the fundraising part of it, because the board's not going to do the fundraising for it. That committee needs to, or they need to address how they're going to handle that. So there's a lot of work that committee is not really, I don't know if they've just discussed it or not, but based on what I saw in the note that was sent to us, there was a lot of stuff that was missing. And so we're hoping that maybe they will take our suggestions and move forward with those and put a little more structure around that whole project before it comes back to the board.
So just completely understanding and appreciate that feedback. There's more feedback there than we've been getting all along. And with that, then my answer, not that I want to be that answer man, I would then defer to Bob, what I think would be the right answer.
Yes, Bob is the trustee liaison to that team, to that committee. And so it should be, the work should be handled, the chairperson should be the one that's coordinating all that work, right? And then Bob is there to bring back information to the board that we need to know, and just to give us an update on what's going on. That's in our trustee report. He could bring that to us to let us know what's going on. But again, when it gets to the point when there's actual actionable information and that we can see, not only it has to be in our packets, so it has to be things that's laid out on paper, that's presented to us in our board packet. It has to be an agenda item, and then we can review it and then move forward with it. And those things were missing.
So the wants of the people in the park will be heard somewhere in
that should be part that is so important, but that again is driven by that committee. They need to have those meetings with the public, with our residents.
And just one more, I know my 3 minutes is probably up there real quick. You did say that it was donations, not park money.
Yes.
Clearly
and that's the whole reason why I don't want the onus to be thrown back on the board, because
I appreciate that. I just wanted to clarify that. All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
The only thing you have to understand, Rich, is the only thing that the park is going to come up with sitting here is what we come up with electrical-wise. That side of the park, well as anything with the boutique and everything needs to be upgraded. And we're going to do it at a one-shot deal to get it all done at once.
It's been working with Vicky just recently, and Bob, with Florida Power. I had stopped them in the park on my own. They were in here. It's just a general question. And what stopped us dead in our tracks was phase 2, this building itself is underpowered. And as you know, this building feeds the shed, which is underpowered, which feeds the tennis and feeds the pickleball, which is all underpowered. So numero uno is to get the power here. Right? And so this timeline of the pavilion just seems to be,
It's out there.
it's out there in the stratosphere somewhere. And like I say, I don't know if it's just whatever the reason is, I'm getting all of these questions. I just wanted to have some definitive, this is the answer, and I've got that. So Bob, you may be getting a lot of phone calls. Appreciate it. All right, thank you. Thank you, Sean, for the clarity.
John?
The pavilion is one of the major assets for the men's club. And it's one of the major assets for the safety of this park because of our outreaches on the west lawn right now. The point I have right now is that working with the clubs, ARC, the men's club, we are considering donations. And to me, those are donations. They are not taxable park money. Somebody came to me the other day and said, if you make a donation in your area, it's park money. And I don't agree with that. I feel that anything that we generate as income and make a donation to this project, it may go into an account like Don's got going on. But I want it very clear because we have talked about working with ARC on maybe a match-to-match basis on generating donations. And I want it very clear, I do not perceive as a president the blood, sweat, and tears of the men's club as being park money. That is generated through those blood, sweat, and tears as a donation. Thank you.
Yes, that's correct.
So John, just to let you know that the future pavilion, you will not see it in our operational budget at all. It is any donations that come in. You will see that on the balance sheet, future pavilion, with the line item of whatever the balance is for for that line item on our balance sheet. It's not into our operational account. It does not mix, with monies with that, okay?
And not only that, the money that H Park has in their account and the money that Men's Club have is also not part of our, it's not in our budget as a park. It's not line items in it. That's why we have this report that was given to us by H Park every October that tells us what your budget is for the year, and it's just a notification, but the monies are, you control those in those areas.
We're just tracking them.
Yeah. Okay, anything else? Okay, yeah, let's have a motion for adjourn. We have a motion and support. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.